Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
And look how far away. Made landfall in Louisiana, and we're in New Jersey, and we're dealing with tremendous flooding. I want to talk about the recovery that's ongoing here today. Really active behind me, where volunteers are actually helping to clean out this home. I'm going to join the person who lives on the second floor, Dana Gormanley. Dana, thank you so much for your time today.
No problem.
So, first of all, you are new to the neighborhood.
I am new to the neighborhood. That was the day we moved.
That's unbelievable. So you came here and you hadn't even unpacked all your stuff yet out of your car?
No, most stuff is in all three of our cars. When we felt the whole house shake, we heard a big boom. So we immediately jumped out my bedroom window thinking it was our house that was going to blow. And as we did that, we were able to stand on the flat roof, and
so
we noticed it was the house across the street.
From the school that are helping to clean out here, which is amazing, and I guess they don't know when they're going to resume back in school.
That I have no idea.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll send it back into you, and I'll tell you what here. Today, thankfully, it's not raining. We did have some rain yesterday. Next chance of rain comes in on Wednesday, Thursday for us here in Manville.
Yeah, and it's not super hot either, so thank goodness for that. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that.
An hour is really what led to this, and I want to show you how it all played out. I like to see where the water came from. When you talk about this magnitude of flooding, filling up streets to first floors of homes, and then you look at the park behind me, which is Duke Park, and then if you go beyond to the tree line, and then beyond that, that's where the Raritan River is, and that's where it jumped its banks, went up to a record stage, beating that of the level it reached with Irene, that of the level it reached with Floyd, filled up this entire park with water and kept rising, so it was over my head. And so the water overspilled its banks, and you can see so many signs of how high it got, like the flooding and the mud that is on these trees. And so that gives you a sense of, how high it got right here, the banks, and then came out and went down the streets of Manville. And so that's how, we got water up over my head in some cases, at the very least to right here, up to into the first floor of many homes, if not most homes, that line this particular street, and then also here in much of the community. Unless you had elevation, you had water. So you can see all the cars. Yeah, I mean, same thing here as well in Mamaroneck, New York. I'm going to show you where the water, which eventually goes out to the Long Island Sound, came up. So there's the water down there. I came up the stairs. It came up all of this way, up the hill, completely covering this parking lot in about 8 feet of water. And all this debris you see right here, this came from the river. I mean, this was not initially here before. It came from down there and brought up by the water. So I'm going to take you over to the restaurant. This is the Modern on the Rail, a beautiful Italian restaurant in an old Metro North rail station, the second oldest actually, on the New Haven line. And you can see actually the Metro North that runs right up there. This is the old station right here, and water came up 8 feet. 8 feet. And so, of course, as you can imagine, they are dealing with cleanup today. They have water that has completely filled the basement where they keep most of their supplies. They are closed until further notice, as the sign says here, due to the storm. Closed until further notice, Jackie. And so I'll take you inside next, and we'll talk to the owner about what it was like going through this.
Can't imagine. Can't imagine. Look at.
I'm going to take you into another scene here in Mamaroneck, New York, about how bad the flooding is. So I'm standing in front of Dan's Carpet and Flooring, and first of all, you can see that the window was completely. You can also see in the basement what these businesses are dealing with. Look at, and you really can tell just how much damage the water did. I mean, look at you guys in the studio. It is loud out here. There's generators running because really that's the only way to get power right now.
All right, Jen, we want to keep on the tropics theme here because we
so rapidly. This was completely out of its banks. So this is where these two rivers come together, and then they actually drain out to the Long Island Sound. However, on Wednesday night, they were draining out right here into this park. And this park was completely covered in water. And actually, this whole area was filled with debris. You can see some of that debris that has actually already been cleaned up and pushed to the side. But this debris is actually items from people's homes and businesses that surround this area. It just came up and it was floating in. You can see some things that are still left. A sign from a, looks like a restaurant. You've got chairs, restaurant chairs most likely. exactly. This looks like a porch chair, trash bags. All of this was not supposed to be here. This came from area businesses and residents, and unfortunately, they were out, you know, trying to find their belongings, trying to find salvage what they could. So this is where the water came from, and it was a combination of water rising from these two rivers, but also because of drainage problems, right? What happened in most cases is the water came up from underneath, came up from basements and rose all the way up to the first floors almost in many, many spots here and caused significant flooding. So up next, I'm going to take you to a restaurant right up here that had that type of damage where the entire basement was filled. There were people down there trying to get the water out that were on the verge of getting stuck, and we'll share their stories coming up, Chris, here within the next 10 minutes. Chris, I'll send it back.